Hi, everyone. I'm Emma Mitchell, and I'm an energy healing guide. And I'm here today with Ariel, and she's going to tell us a story about her childhood home. Welcome, Ariel, and thanks for telling us this story.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
So, when I was growing up, this was around the time I was probably 15, 16, and my bedroom had an ensuite bathroom. And um, I remember not wanting to sleep with the lights off because I just remember feeling like there was something watching me. And so I took to putting a nightlight in the bathroom. And the foot of my bed pointed toward the bathroom door, so I could see into the bathroom. It was very small. And I put the nightlight in there, so it was like, backlit if anything stood in the doorway. And um, I don't remember the first time, like, I don't remember if anything triggered it, but I was trying to go to sleep and I had that nightlight on and I got that sensation that something was watching me. And I opened my eyes and I looked towards the bathroom. And in the doorway of the bathroom, backlit by the nightlight, there was a figure. And it was very tall and just a black silhouette of like a man. But there was no face, no features at all. It was just a black form, basically. But the overall feeling was bad, scary, like it was watching me. And I turned towards the wall and pulled the blankets over my head. And then, maybe 30 seconds later, I could feel it. It had walked over to the edge of the bed and was standing beside the bed looking down at me, and I could hear it breathing. And it just stood there and breathed over me. And it was terrifying. I was like hiding under my blankets. And I eventually fell asleep. And that happened many more times where I would see it in the bathroom doorway and it would come stand next to the bed and breathe over me. Never touched me or anything like that, but it would just stand there and I could just hear it like heavy breathing. It would not come around if I had all the lights on, but it would come if just the nightlight was on. And there was no like rhyme or reason to when it would come. It came multiple times and did that. And then, my mom and I tried blessing the room and anointing it with holy water to drive it out. None of it worked. And eventually I moved out, and didn't really think much of it. But years later, I had two younger sisters who also, slept in that room at some point in time. And I asked them both at one point, have you ever seen anything in the room? And I had not previously told them about this thing that I saw. And both of them individually told me they had seen something, and what they described to me was exactly the same thing that I saw. They described the black figure with no face or anything like that, and that it never touched them, but it would come stand near the bed and breathe over them, like the same kind of behaviors. Very strange. One of my sisters is still in that room. I have no idea if she still sees it. I haven't asked her recently, but
What do you think that it is? Like, have you gotten any sense of or researched or anything about what
I
it
never
could
did a
be?
lot of research at the time. There was a lot of strife in my family between my parents, between me and my parents. I always attributed it to something that my dad had brought into the house because a lot of the issues that were going on were involving my dad. Um, but I don't know that that's true or not. At the time, I just felt that way because, I was fighting with my dad a lot, and I'm sure I just wanted to blame him. I have no idea. My parents bought land out in the country and then built this house on it. So, I've wondered if it was something that was already there and they built over the top of a burial site. I have no idea.
Yeah. So I know we were talking before this, and I have like seen an image before, but I wanted to talk to your spirit guides and ask them. And so the image I was thinking was, oh, this is just like a black parasitic entity that I see moving around, like can move around. But as I am tuning into your spirit guides, the message I'm getting is that it's some sort of monster, which is not a good word, right? Like a monster. And we don't really think that, but it's something old, like very, very old with the land, is the information that your guides are giving me. And I'm seeing that it's like this was a place where a lot of tribal people would gather on this land. But I can't tell. The image I'm getting is just that there's like all these people milling around. So maybe it's like a ceremonial place or something like that, that I don't know that it necessarily evoked this being to that place, but it somehow is maybe sacred to these people. Does that feel right to
I
you?
could see that being true, yeah, based upon where the home is located, where this land is, very close to Utah and, it's kind of out in the desert. That was definitely a thought I've had before if it was something attached to the land. I do find it interesting that it tends to hang out in that one bedroom. And I don't remember that always, like I had been in that bedroom before, like when my grandpa lived in there and not noticed anything like that. So I don't know if it was awakened by the strife that was going on in the house or if it just got tired of us being there or what. But to my knowledge, it's never left.
Well, I got the word amplified with stress, which a lot of the stuff is like these negative energies, they do get amplified when there's tension. And then sometimes, and I don't know about this thing, but sometimes they then amplify the tension and they amplify the things to be worse. But um, did your dad ever see it? I know that you said this was in a specific room. Do you think it could be
No,
something about you all being females in that room? Like, because it's kind of predatory behavior, right? Like standing over you, breathing, like
how it felt
a
too.
creep. Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow. That's interesting. I wish I could get more information about this. All I see is like it's a more solid figure than a spirit, than a ghost. And did it
That's
feel
how
that
it
way?
looked. It didn't look wispy. It looked like the solid form of a very tall, thin person, but no facial features at all. I mean, just black.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was solid. Like the light backlit it. It wasn't like I could see through it or anything like that. I'm trying to remember if I could hear it walk over to the bed, but I don't remember. I vividly remember. The sensation when someone is standing close to you. I remember feeling like it was very close to me, and it only ever did that once I turned away and closed my eyes. So I never got to see it move, but
Yeah.
I could feel it there and then hear it breathing.
The image I'm getting is almost like somebody in rags. Not rags, but like raggedy old clothing or something very large. Did it look skinny or was it a larger kind of
It
figure?
was thin, like
It was
slender,
thin.
because it stood in the doorway and I could still, it didn't fill the doorway all the way, but
Okay.
it was very tall, like up to the top of the door frame,
Okay.
at least 7 feet tall.
Okay.
And I don't remember ever seeing any clothes or anything on it, but it was just black.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'm seeing something else, which could be even more scary.
It wouldn't surprise me if there was more than one thing hanging out around there.
Yeah. Wow. Well, maybe I'll have to look into your house psychically one day and just see what's in there. But I'm getting this image of this more solid figure with these ragged clothes, but maybe it's different. Maybe it's
I'll have
two
to ask my
things.
younger sisters again and ask them for a detailed description of what they saw because it's been a number of years since we talked about it.
Yeah. But, something filling the door frame. I mean, a door frame is, I don't see this thing filling it. It's more just like stout. But if it was tall, I don't know.
It was very tall.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, regardless, that's really creepy. And you haven't had it, it hasn't followed you. So that's good. It's
Nope,
like
I've only ever seen it and felt it in that bedroom.
tied to the land. Yeah. Did you ever talk to any um native peoples around there about what it could be?
Mm-mm.
Hmm. Well, sometimes, when I do house clearings, there's things in these homes that I can't get rid of. And the sense about that thing is that it's not something that I could get rid of, you know? Like,
Yeah, I mean, my mom and I tried a few different ways of trying to encourage it to get out, and none of it made a bit of difference.
Did your mom ever see it?
To my knowledge, she didn't see it, but she didn't question me when I told her that I saw it. She was like, she didn't doubt me.
Wow. So maybe it could move a little bit and she could see it too. You have to ask your mom and your dad if they've ever
I
witnessed the
will.
spirit.
I don't think I've ever even brought it up to my dad. I'll have to tell him about it and see if he's ever noticed or felt anything strange in the house. I
Yeah.
don't know that he's tuned in enough to the spiritual side of things to pick up on that. I think my mom probably is, but I don't know that she's ever seen it.
Yeah. You know, I recently was back at my dad's house in Michigan and he wasn't there, but I cleared out a couple of things in his home that every time I've been at his house, I've said, there's some scary stuff here in the basement and some other things. And he never, I don't want to say he didn't believe me, but he never was saying that he saw it. And he would just say, okay, Emma, whatever, but sometimes they just don't see it even, and they live with it, which is crazier to me that people can live with these things, but maybe they're the lucky ones. I don't know.
Yeah, not pick up on it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thanks for sharing this story with us today, Ariel. And if we get any updates from your end or from my end, if I end up cyclically walking through your home, we can update on this.
Yeah, totally. I'd love to.
All right, sounds good. All right, well, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. This is Emma again. At the end of this episode, I was able to psychically look into Ariel's childhood home, and what I noticed was two entities actually. So I was seeing this creepy monster that I described to her in this episode, but then I also was seeing like a black entity that was walking around the space and standing in doorways. And this was a little bit thinner, taller than that monster that I was seeing. So two different beings, which is pretty terrifying. But yeah, so I did check back in with Ariel after I learned that, and we did talk about a little bit more with her childhood home, and she's going to connect with her family to see if they have witnessed anything themselves and what it might have looked like to them. So, thanks for listening to this episode. If you want to access any of my soul journey meditations or any of my free meditations that help you tap into your own intuitive abilities, your clairvoyant abilities, check out my Patreon page. Uh, Patreon.com/RosaJoyCo to get access to all of those and to get access to these episodes for free as well. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And if you want to be featured on this podcast, please send me a message. It's free and it is pretty fun. Have a good day.